Mark Bell from supertraining.tv, coming to you with some dynamic effort squat training. This is one of our newer guys. I call him Ribs. As you can see right through his shirt, and you can see his ribs pretty good. This is Ryan Spencer squatting with a blue band. Now, in this day, this is kind of the beginning of a CircaMax phase, or just a heavy tension phase, however you want to say it. We got the blue band wrapped around the tensors. We have these tensors that extend the monolift out a little bit, so it makes the band much tighter. And then also we used about 3 chains per side. This is Austin Baumgarten doing some squats right there, getting warmed up. The newer guy, we just jump them right into the mix. Doesn't matter that they're new. You know, we're not gonna do any real specialized training for them, especially if they have a little bit of a background. We'll just get them right in the mix, get them used to some different barbells and things like that. So here's some sets with just the blue band on there. We don't have any chain on there just yet. For myself, I have a pretty tough time, you know, getting my arms underneath the barbell because I'm so tight through the upper body. So it takes me a lot of sets to get warmed up to be able to get my arms under there just right. There's Janet Lavelle going with some pretty heavy squats with the cambered bar. You can see that she's got a band on there as well. That band is actually doubled up. It's actually a light band. Shorter athletes, I'd recommend people that are under 5 feet tall. You can actually take some of the smaller bands in your gym and you can double them up, get more band tension out of them. They got to be very strong to be able to handle that, obviously, but it's a way to get more tension all the way through the movement. And then also that they're using the cambered bar, and there's really not a good way to get the bands on there, so you might as well double them up. Here's Austin going again. We're always working on our form on these days. He's trying to keep that chest up. He's trying to throw his knees out hard. One thing that we try to preach when you have these heavy tensions is to stay tight. You know, people yell it all the time, stay tight, stay tight. It's like, what the fuck are you referring to exactly? Well, you're really just referring to everything. You want to try to keep everything tight. You want to try to get air into your stomach, and you want to push your stomach out against the belt as hard as you can. Almost trying, like if you have a lever belt, it's almost like you're trying to make the belt explode off of you. You can even mess around and do some ab training with your belt on. Try a couple sets of pull down abs with your belt on, and you'll actually you can actually feel what I'm talking about. For every rep that you do, blow your stomach up with air. Make sure you're not taking air into your face or into your chest. Take the air into your stomach and flex your stomach hard against that belt. There's Greg Buffington going with his set there. Got a pretty good group going. Everyone got in a good amount of work as well. Here at Super Training, I don't do the typical West Side Barbell CircaMax phase. I have done it in the past with some success, but I have a very hard time squatting to a box in briefs with my suit and the straps down. So we do it slightly different here at Super Training. I just try to get a little more tension on the bar and basically follow some of the principles of the dynamic effort method. I save the heavy stuff for the max effort day, basically. There's Janet Lavelle going. Janet had a little problem with her knee there, so she's got a slingshot wrap on her knee. You can actually see that she's causing some trauma to that knee on her own because her knee is tracking inward as she's coming up off that box. There's some things you can do to cue people so that they don't do that. You can tell them to spread the floor. That'll help them. That'll help them to keep their knee tracking properly, or tell them knees out. Another way of looking at it is that your knees are actually going out by way of your hips and by way of your groin. So another way of looking at it, as Donnie Thompson kind of describes it, is he says to open up. So you're opening up through the groin. But you really don't want those knees to come slamming in. It can become detrimental at some point. The lighter weights, you may not notice it. But with the heavier weights, it'll catch up to you at some point. Here's G Buff going. Greg Buffington's always got pretty good form. Greg trains a little differently with his dynamic work. He drives about an hour and a half, 2 hours to come to Super Training every weekend. So So he makes the most of it, and whatever we're doing, he just tries to keep up with it. He doesn't care if, he'd like to move the weights a little faster, but if they're moving a little slower for that day, then so be it. He just wants to get, a good hard training session in. And it's really paid off for him as he's hit some huge squats for us. Here's the girls going with some deadlift training against some bands. Here's David Bathis squatting with a hangover. You can actually see a little deviation in his squats, and you can see, the concentration is not there 100%, because a little bit's lost when you go out and drink like that. So drink more water is the moral of the story, kids. If you're gonna drink, have a drink and then have some water with it. Wash it all down. Or you can just view this training session as a drying out process. My old football coach used to say it all the time. Boys, we're gonna dry you out. Make you run like 5 miles. I could smell the alcohol coming off everybody. Meanwhile, I didn't drink, so I got screwed because I was a fat kid running 5 miles. Here's Greg Buffington going again. Greg's got about 400 pounds on there, about 410 pounds or so, and then plus the 3 chains per side and the blue bands. I'd say the blue bands probably add nearly 200 pounds to the top of the lift. His robot's squeaking out a good one there. See how he keeps that real upright posture all the time. It really helps him from losing the weights. He very rarely gets rounded over by something. Actually, if he's going to miss a weight, he just flat out misses it. He doesn't normally even get rounded over by big weights. There's Austin going again. His form's coming along a little better every week. If you're having trouble squatting wide and you're having trouble getting your knees out, and you're having trouble doing some of the things we're trying to teach you here at supertraining.tv, don't worry about it. This doesn't happen in one day. You're not going to learn it in one day. We say that all the time in here. You can actually see my head is down too much. How long have I been squatting for? Looks like my first day in the gym. So it takes a lot of practice and a lot of time. It also takes being surrounded by some other great athletes and some other people that know what they're talking about. And then also getting some video of yourself can be really big. Getting some good video of yourself can help you to dissect some of the problems even on your own. Robot going with his knee wraps on that one because he wanted to handle a little bit better weight, a little bit bigger weight on that one. There's Tara Getty having some pretty good form on her sumo deadlifts. There's Austin going with about 470 there. Got that Iron Wolf bar, so that thing is about 10 to 15 pounds heavier than a regular barbell. So Austin missed a rep there, and I said, fuck that. You can't miss any reps. You got to get back under there and do it. And I crossed my fingers the whole time, and just happened to work out. I knew he was going to make it. I knew if he would concentrate and recommit himself that he would get it. Make sure that you're going to commit to stuff. Just don't even bother going if you're not going to commit all the way to it, or or just cut it a rep short if for some reason something's off. Don't hurt yourself. But if you're not going to commit to it 100%, you really have no business doing it. This sport is too hard and too dangerous to do it any other way. Ed Cohn talks about that quite a bit in his DVDs, which are sold on supertraining.com, I believe. Supertraininggym.com. I don't even know the name of my own website. But Ed Cohn talks about that quite a bit in his DVDs. Talks about committing to the squat. Some people would say, how did you go down with 950 pounds so fast, or 1,025, or however much he was doing at the time. And he said he would just commit to it. As soon as he started to move downward, he just said, you know what, here we go. And he would just drop it down in there and just reverse it back up. So now I got my head a little bit more upright, and part of that is just because the weights are heavier, so the weights are telling me what to do. The weights are saying, I don't think you're going to keep your head down anymore, right? You know, they're checking on me. Look at Spencer's knees here. He's doing a good job of trying to keep him back. He's a guy that has kind of struggled with this form, but is doing really, really good. He's not a flexible guy. He's not able to really force his knees out real hard. But each and every week, he's been working on it, working on it, working on it. His form has gotten so much better. So look for big things from him, especially if we can get him to wear some double ply gear, which we might be able to coming up. Might see some pretty big squats from him. Here he is handling another big weight. This guy doesn't get tired. He's kind of a machine. To see if he really pays attention to his form, he's in no danger of missing the weight. You know, if he was just going under there haphazardly and his back was slightly rounded and stuff at the start, he'd be screwed. You know, he's a strong guy, but even he doesn't have that kind of strength, so he's got to really concentrate. He's like, all right, here we go, head up, stomach tight, knees out, arch up, chest up, push hard, you know. You got to concentrate on every set, on every rep. Here he is going again. He was just squatted all day. All day, bro. And that's pretty much it from supertraining.tv.